Doesn't look like I'm going to get Facebook Live going, and that's okay. So it's 5 o'clock. I'm going to get started. Sad it didn't work, but my bad for not having the correct password. Oh, well. All right. Well, I want to welcome everyone to what is my first of many condensed, filled, content-rich toolbox presentation. This is a first. This is a challenge for me. How do I put one of my favorite tools in a 15-minute presentation? How to dance with your fear. But I'm up for the challenge. I'm excited to have you with me. Some quick basics. I'm really sad to not have Facebook Live, but I did say I was going to do it for 15 minutes. I'm not going to do the Q&A box, but I have the chat box open. So feel free to say your comments in the chat box. I'm not going to answer questions along the way just because that'll take up time. And I really want to stay focused with this tool so that I can really talk to you and get specific about what it is I want to present with you. You could jot down your questions. In fact, if you have paper, jot down some notes. But in the chat box, feel free to write your questions and I'll go over it later. And I'll stay on after. But because it's jam-packed and I really want to get very specific and focused, which is not necessarily my MO, I'm like, okay, I got to like really zoom in. So I'm not going to be like, hey, so-and-so, hey, so-and-so. So I welcome you all. All right. So what are we going to do? So we are going to talk about fear, the impact it has on you. We're going to talk about why you have it, how you really can't get rid of it, nor would you want to. And some of you might be going, what? I want to get rid of my fear. I'm going to talk to you about why you don't want to get rid of it and how you really want to embrace it. And as I'm saying, how to dance with it, how to allow it in and to be with it so it's not running your show. So if you're like me and every other person with a heartbeat, and I'm assuming you're in that category, sometimes fear can take over and lead you in directions that don't serve you, having you make decisions that you don't like or want, or has a high cost in something that's really important to you that you don't end up getting because your fear got in your way. So I'm going to teach you a really powerful tool later in this presentation, but very soon, because it's not a long presentation, 15 minutes. This is crazy, but I'm in it. I'm going to teach you a tool on how to honor your fear and how to actually work with it and take the lead. Take the lead so you actually can choose where you go consciously. So, so I'm just going to check in and see if anyone has anything to say. Okay, everybody is hearing me fine, I guess. Again, I'm really sad about Facebook Live, but I guess I will just post it. So, okay, good. Thanks, Bridge. Okay, so so first, I think the most important thing is to tune into yourself and ask yourself, what does it feel like inside of you to have fear? What is the impact on your body and your life? Because if you don't really know how it affects you, you may not be that interested in learning how to dance with it or allow it into your life in a different way. So let's start with what happens to you when you feel scared. I know for me, my body feels tight and constricted. My stomach muscles can feel really tight and just, a lot of discomfort in my belly, and maybe my throat closes up. My mind starts to race. Maybe I start to ruminate. It keeps me up at night, asking all these questions to prepare me for whatever it is that I'm scared about. And these thoughts make me more scared, thinking about what might be coming up. So my fear is running my brain and affecting my body. And when I'm in that state, I am not able to be as present and show up in the way that I want to show up in my life. And I'll actually use the example of right here, right now. there's, I have a little bit of the nervous butterflies in my belly right now because I've given myself, and I've told you, oh, I'm going to give you this really awesome thing in 15 minutes. And there's this voice in my head that's saying, are you crazy? 15 minutes? You usually do this in an hour and a half. However, I am allowing that voice in. It is definitely causing me some, but I also know that it's reminding me that I have 15 minutes to give to you the best I can, and it's not taking me out of the game. I'm conscious of it, and it's definitely poking me a little bit, but it's not this loud roaring, siren in my head that is keeping me from being aware with you. But I'm feeling it. Years ago, it used to take over, and every once in a while it still can, but the tool I'm going to teach you later is going to help you not have it be such a big, loud, overwhelming feeling, and I'm going to help you learn how to navigate it better. So how does it feel in your body? Notice what happens, and what happens with your life when fear comes in. Are you clear-headed? Are you able to make good moves in your life? Are you able to go for the goals and enter into the realms that you really want to enter? Let me give you some examples. So let's just say you are feeling that desire to have a new relationship. Maybe it's been a while since you've been in a relationship. Maybe you've been single for a while, maybe single for a short time, but maybe you really are like, oh, I really, really, really want to have somebody new in my life. And you're noticing every time you go to put your profile online in one of those online dating places, you just feel this terror and you don't do it. And maybe every day or every week you're like, oh, I really, really, really want to meet somebody. And every time you go to put that profile on, you go, so why is that? Why is that fear keeping you from putting yourself out there? So that's one example of fear getting in the way of you wanting something and not doing it. The question is why? Why do we stop ourselves? So let's stay right there for a second. My belief, and take it or leave it, my belief is if you are in the moment, in this moment, this still point, this breath, there's no place for fear if you're focused on what it is you want. I don't believe that. I believe if you are completely in the present moment, you will not have fear. It's when we shoot to the future of what might happen, or if we're thinking in the past of what did happen and caused us pain in the past, that we suddenly are feeling our fear. And that's not such a bad thing, right? In fact, I want to go there right now, which is we are human beings, and to stay in the present moment and never be in the future, in the past, good luck with that. Let me know if you have the magic pill for that. That, I think, is where spirituality gets a little slippery. If you only are in the present moment, you will never feel fear. Come on, we're human beings. And things have happened to us that have shaped us, that have us worried in our caution so that we don't do the same mistakes, if there is such a thing as mistakes, and have the same pain as we had in the past. And so we think to the future, go, oh, if we do this, this might happen, I better not. So if we're in the present moment and we're really clear about, I want a new love in my life, or I want to change my work or speak something to a friend, if you're right here, right now, my judgment is you're not going to have any fear. It's because of our past programming and our experiences that we've picked up some programming or some belief systems that have us go, I better be careful because the last time I opened up my heart to this person, it got trampled on. Or the last time I told my friend X, she didn't talk to me for a week and I felt alone and I felt rejected and I felt hurt. So things have happened and they've given us some groundwork and some belief systems, and some of that could still very well happen. There's always that risk that the past experiences that happened might happen again. But that's clue number one, which is, will they? You know, looking at the past, as Tony Robbins would say, the past doesn't equal the future. Just because it happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen in the future. And so coming to this present moment and asking what it is you want and why you want it should not cause you, I don't want to should on you, but should not cause you fear. It's when you start having this part of you, this voice that came online at a very young age, this radar for pain and risk, starts to kick up and says, yeah, but you know, you're not worthy of doing that and you don't deserve that. And if you do that, something bad's going to happen. That's when you start to feel the fear. And that part that came online, we call it the risk manager at a young age. That part came online to protect you so you never feel that fear again. Excuse me, that pain again. This is live, guys. I have no notes here. So this part that's watching out for you is a beautiful, wonderful part. And this part is the radar to make sure you don't mess up or have pain or make mistakes. And that's awesome. However, it's overshooting a lot of the times because when you were younger, the pain was so great and you didn't have support and you were a kid and you were vulnerable. And so this part is still really old, and it's going to do whatever it takes to have you never make that mistake again or make that choice again or put yourself out there again. Like maybe the last time you put yourself online in the online dating world, you met some real creeps and maybe it was a waste of your time, or maybe, you know, you felt horrible and scared, and maybe you gave months to a person online that it just didn't work out and you're like, I'm never going to do that again. So yes, you had an experience, and what do you want to do with that experience? If you have a lot of fear, like overwhelming fear, that's a clue, in my opinion, that something happened in the past and you're over cautious. And we need to pull that apart. Are you following me? I just want to check in if you guys are following me. Maybe give me a thumbs up or a yes, or Junie, you're making no sense, and makes sense. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. And feel free to write questions and I will address them in a little bit. So just to come back again. So we had these experiences in our past. A part of us is born called the risk manager, and it starts to go, I better be careful because I don't want you to ever feel that pain again. And it starts looking for risks, but it's like crazy about it. It's like over the top. And so you start to feel a lot of fear when you start to venture into those realms again. Like I used to be scared of speaking in front of groups because I was bullied as a kid. Now as a kid, there was a lot of risk to be in front of a group. As an adult, not as risky. So I'm noticing the time. Oh my God, it goes so fast. So I come to the present and I want something. So think about something you want, something that's important, and that you're feeling overwhelmed, anxiety, concern, and it's keeping you from trying anything new. All right. So the tool, well, first of all, before I want to teach you the tool, is might it behoove you to allow fear in to help you decide if you're in danger or not? And I'll answer that for you. Yes, you want to make sure that you don't take any risks that are going to really be harmful. The thing is, it's overdoing. So we need to dance with that fear. We need to go, okay, here you are, but let's talk. It's sort of, this is the tool. It's beginning a relationship with fear. Why are you here? What is it that you want from me? Why are you scared that I'm going to put myself online? Why are you concerned that I'm about to change my job? Because the mind wants to go to these extreme thoughts of, oh, I'm going to lose everything, or my heart's going to be squashed. And if you've had pain in the past, it's going to be really on high alert. So to start to actually say, wait a second, I'm not going to just let you stop me and bring me in this direction. I want to talk to you. This is the tool, guys. And you could do it with journaling. You could do it with another chair where you put fear in the chair. I kind of call it the inner critic, frankly, or the risk manager, because when you put that voice that makes you feel scared in the chair, you can actually have a conversation with it and say, why are you freaking me out? Why are you keeping me from putting my profile online? And you could start to dig underneath what really might happen if you make that move. And this is where you become conscious of what is truly risky and what's old wiring. And you can't just go, oh, I'm scared because I might get rejected. That's just not enough, guys. It's not enough. All this unconscious wiring from your past experiences are going to pull the strings and keep guiding you away from moving forward, because underneath you have this fear that something bad's going to happen. So is it true? Is it true that something bad's going to happen? Pull it apart. So talk to that part. Literally talk to that part. And, you can write on a piece of paper, say, I really want to change careers, but I'm terrified. What can happen if I do that? And then fear or your risk manager might say, well, if you completely leave your job and you have no money in your bank account, you might lose your house, your car, and then come back and start talking again to your fear or your risk manager and go, okay, I see that if I go to that extreme and just completely leave my job and completely change my direction, that I might lose everything. But what might we do? How might we dance with this situation and negotiate a way that I can make some changes in my life without it being so risky? Make sense? Okay? So we start a conversation with the part of us that is scared that something can hurt us. And once that part starts to hear that it's not so black and white, that there are ways to navigate the waters and dance with your wants without it being so scary, then you can start making some moves. It's 5:18. Oh my God. All right, this was an experiment. This was an experiment. How much can I share with you in 15 minutes? All right. If you, what I'm hoping you got with these 15, 18 minutes is there's a reason you're scared. There's a part of you that's questioning what you want and has you in your fear and has some great tactics like telling you you're not worth it, or having you in your body feel like terrified. So, you just feel paralyzed, keeps you up at night, you're tired, whatever it is. And once you start to identify that there's something you really want and it's painful to not get what you want and you really want it, to start to have this conversation with what truly is risky and what's old wiring. And you can do that with 2 chairs, and you can do that with journaling. Obviously, this is the beginning of the tool. And if you want to understand this tool in a deeper way and to really anchor this tool in, I'm happy to talk with you. I'm happy to take some questions right now. I'm going to actually write a link for you to grab a session with me. I've opened up 5 sessions in the next couple of weeks, so you and I can dive in more deeply to learn, to really learn how this tool can benefit you. Because if fear is running you, how many more years are you going to allow it to be taking the lead and keep you stuck? Yeah. What kind of life is that, right? What kind of life is that? I want you to be able to express yourself authentically and peacefully and gracefully. And by learning how to say, wait a second, fear, I think you might be wrong about this. Let's have a conversation. Things change. And when you can get into the deeper layers of the unconscious beliefs of why it's so scary, that's when you can kind of break through fear. And fear can then go, she's got a point. It's not as risky as it was when she was little. And, oh, she's going to do things differently, and she's in a support group and la, 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 la. We need to bring our software up to speed, so to speak. We need to have that part of us that's running old tapes learn that we are different, we are older, we have desires, and maybe the strategies of keeping us back has a cost now, and we need to build some new strategies. So that's the dance. So if you want to do the happy dance, you know, I keep thinking, come on, get happy. If you want to learn how to dance with fear, start talking to fear. Begin that relationship with fear. And if you want to jump on a phone call with me, like I said, I've opened up 5 slots in the next couple of weeks. And the link is, let's see, it's meetme.so/ and I'll put it in the comments, /discovery session page. meetme.so/ discovery session page, and you and I can dive in a little deeper. All right, I'm going to be mindful of the time. I said I was going to finish in 15 minutes. It's 5:22, but I am here. So that's it for my condensed presentation. And oh wow, gosh, Bridget, you rock. Bridget just posted. Actually, it's to all panelists. So I'm going to do it to everyone. But thanks, Bridget. I'm going to post the link, and you guys can sign up for a time that's good for you. And I'm here to answer any questions. If anyone has any questions you want to put in the chat room right now, I'm happy to go in a little deeper for a few more minutes. So what do you guys think? Does it make sense to you that you have this part inside of you that is radar for bad shit's gonna hit the fan? Do you have that sense that there is this part that is really scared and watching out for you? Question. How long does it take to unpack the old stuff? Yeah, the luggage we carry around. Well, you know, people ask me that all the time, like, when's it going to be done? And when can I really put all the suitcases away and just be free? It's a journey. It's a journey. And I've been on this journey for a long time, and I can tell you, I'm pretty fearless. That doesn't mean that I don't have fear popping up. Most of the time it's healthy fear. But it's a journey of unpacking one suitcase at a time, one issue at a time. Depending on how open you are, the more personal growth work you've done, if you've done therapy and you've read books and you've done the inquiry of what's happened in your past, and you have a really good intellectual understanding of who you are and why you are the way you are, it goes much faster. And with shadow work, we look at what's happened, and then we're able to just like cut to the core of it and shift it and give you new beliefs pretty darn quickly. It really accelerates the growth process. So an issue might be gone in like a session, which happened to me once, which blew me away. And there are other issues and luggage that I think I've taken out everything from the piece of luggage, and like, oh, there's another sock, oh, there's another piece of clothing. That there are layers to this healing, and it does take time. And I truly believe that I'm going to keep unfolding and cleaning out my luggage until I die. But I'll tell you, the work lightens your load, frees you up, and fear works with you. Let me see another question. Hi, Elise. Thank you. This absolutely feels true. Yes. Ongoing process, but it is cumulative. Absolutely. Things just build on top of, the personal growth work. It's like, yes, and then I take it to another level, and then I take it to another level. Absolutely. Feel the fear, have a relationship with the fear, ground the self in reality. Yes. I just took a workshop this past weekend on the work, Byron Katie's work, and I'm still kind of digesting it, and I think there's some really good stuff there. And one of the basic principles, or the main principles, is accepting reality as is, loving what is. How many of us really want to love what is, and what does that really mean? But to be able to just be here now and say, I'm live on the computer, here is my reality, it's a little hot in the room, this just is. But then the belief systems I have and the old baggage and everything else that brought me to this point, that's where the work is. To release it one belief at a time, and then take on new beliefs, empowering beliefs inside. So anything that might have told me I wasn't good enough or couldn't, I have other voices in my head that tell me quite the opposite, which has balanced it out and helps me find that still point and peace and freedom. Now, let me see some other questions. Sometimes people ask me, am I turning people into multiple personalities when we have these parts? So we're consciously talking to these parts. So there is a part that says, you're never going to amount to anything. You know, you don't have what it takes. And that can cause us fear. And so it's like, well, am I imagining that there's this voice in my head? Well, I'm conscious of it, and I can say, oh, there's this thought in my head, this voice in my head, but it's not a part. I'm not losing consciousness. So people with multiple personalities, which I'm certainly not an expert on, are not conscious of the different parts that they play. And in shadow work, and this work that I share with people, we do step into these roles: the shooter, the critic, the pusher, the admirer, the warrior. And all these parts, we step in a way that allows us to discover more of who we are, access the energy so that we can use it in any way we want. So no, I'm not making you into a multiple personality. These are just parts. So today's part we were looking at was the part that creates fear, or the inner critic. I'm not seeing any other questions. Any other questions or comments right now? All right, I have a question for you. How's the background look? Thumbs up, thumbs down, too busy, colorful. I was told my beige background was just bleh. So is anyone still here? Yeah, there's people here. Am I alone? So what do you think? Do you like the colors? Did you like when it was more simple? It's fun. I like it. Yeah, I like it too. All right, guys, if there's no other questions, you sparkle against any backgrounds. Oh, thank you. You brought tears to my eyes. That's so sweet. May we all sparkle. That's what this is about. And I love that word sparkle, so thank you. We all have a sparkle. And I believe strongly we were all born with our own unique sparkle. And we've picked up a lot of baggage, gook, whatever you want to call it, that's kind of landed on top of our sparkle, that has us question our sparkle and has us doubt our sparkle. And this work is cleaning it up, getting rid of it, so that we can truly come from our heart and be the divine presence that we are meant to be. So that's my thing. So if any of you would like to talk to me more, please go to the meetme.so/discovery session page. Discovery session page. Did I do that wrong? Yeah, discovery session page. Let me write it again. Meetme. Yeah, not so great with the typing. meetme.so/discovery session page. And like I said, I have a handful of sessions available in the next couple of weeks. I am thrilled to dive in deeper with you about this skill. If you're really wanting to learn how to do a better dance with fear and live more gracefully and full blast, let's chat. This has been wonderful. I hope I've given you some good food for thought. And with that, I'm going to bid you adieu. Much love to you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye, guys.